Welcome, everyone. I think we've only got 2 weeks till the sprints. Yeah. Before I start off, does anybody else want to start off with anything they're looking forward to here?
I guess meeting new people, some new faces since last time we did this.
Oh, yeah. So Matthew, might as well introduce yourself as a paper mill author.
Sure, yeah, I've been doing a lot of work on paper mill and kind of bringing that into being used at Netflix, and I've only kind of touched some of the other nteract things, not real heavily. So kind of looking forward to see some of what other things are happening.
Ben?
Yeah, I'm excited to meet everybody, and actually, this will be my first sprint. I've not experienced that before. So, I mean, besides like gym class, I've sprinted in gym class and that sort of thing. But so I'm excited to just meet everyone and learn some new things.
Awesome.
Andy?
I'm
next.
Yeah, might as well.
I'm Andy. I'm pretty new to nteract, although I've been around. I'm the focus president, but I was trying to get in and start working on the project. I thought this was a good time to try.
Sweet. So what do you think you need to be successful in working on a project? Or at least for you to feel productive?
Are you asking me or everybody?
Yeah, I'm asking you, Andy.
An easy task that I know I could do in like a few hours, because like a sprint, like the first time, a few hour task will take you all day, and then it'll be maybe merged in within a week, and so that seems about my level right now.
And then like skill wise or domain wise, what would you go for?
For me, I'm open for anything. I mean, I program in React and Python every day, so not React every day, but every week. Python every day. C every other day.
Sweet. And now there's Sarah and Elijah. I let people go through introducing themselves, which I know we did a couple weeks ago, but now we'll do again. Just cause. So Elijah.
Is it me? All right.
It's you, man.
What kind of introductions are we talking about? Like, welcome to the club. I'm Elijah, and I'm a data visualization engineer here at Netflix.
Yeah, totally.
Anything? Okay, yeah. So
I would talk about what you're working on in the project, too.
Right. Yeah. So I built out that initial implementation, or the new implementation of the Data Explorer. It uses this data visualization charting library I've been working on called Semiotic. Would love any kind of feedback or any kind of feature requests on that, and I need to go back to it and clean it up and add some more data visualization functionality, but add some more app functionality too. Kyle and I were talking a while back about saving state, things like that, so that you come back to your notebook and it has whatever data visualization settings in there that you originally had. Yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Yeah, the saving state thing. So I think at least for us, so on disk we need to persist metadata of what we select within that data resource transform. We'd probably keep it specific to the Data Explorer, so like on a namespace for Data Explorer. But at least it could pick out like which axes you've selected. There's a bunch of different things that you can change within each chart type. And we should try to make it so that, that whole thing, I guess really the Data Explorer would become kind of this pure component, and we'll push down in what the updated state is for the overall Data Explorer and how you're looking at your data. Yeah. Then Sarah?
Hello. Hi, I'm Sarah. I do the transcribing.
So Sarah joined the project to help with transcribing. She's actually been providing closed captions for these videos for YouTube. Yeah, and then she's also helped organize a bunch of the sprints and put together a lot of the sprint docs themselves. And so generally has been helping with a lot of editing of content. Since you didn't introduce all the way, I'll say more. So she's a poli-sci major at San Jose State University. And then is kind of exploring the role of politics in open source. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. And then I think Am jumped on the call.
Absolutely. Hi, all. So are we doing introductions or?
Yeah, which means
okay.
we to everybody else, but you can watch the video later.
I can. So I'm M. Pacer. I am the first and currently only senior notebook engineer at Netflix. Work with Kyle on nteract, Papermill, all the things Jupyter, and I'm a Jupyter Core Dev steering council member, all of that. So, and I don't know what other context we're giving right now. So,
yeah, no, that was perfect. It was perfect. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, everybody. And other than that, I was asking. Oh, yeah, I did. I was asking folks what they might want to talk about before I get going on the things that were kind of top of mind for me.
Is there somewhere that we're writing notes as we talk, or no?
No, actually, Sarah is helping with that. The person who said they're transcribing.
Okay,
Other than that,
I meant,
Google captures all of it for us.
I meant more that if we had an agenda somewhere that I could be following.
Oh, there's no agenda. There's no currently no agenda. Yeah.
Got it.
I've been writing it down after. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so top of mind for me is I made a mistake with our Babel config. I applied React Hot Loader for everything, and I put it at the top level, and I haven't figured out how to make all the packages play nicely. This has affected people using external things, as well as deploying Commuter. We can't deploy we can't put Commuter in production, but it works in development mode because all the packages are there. So yeah, I've got some fixing to do, and I'm hoping to get it done before the sprints so that people can use the packages independently, which is largely what we're aiming for with the developer docs. So yeah, that about covers it for me. I just want to fix up some of the packaging mess before we get started in a couple weeks. Yeah. That's it for me. How do you think Papermill's going? What's next?
For Papermill, one thing I wanted to get probably during the sprint, since I was getting some of the better process management stuff we had talked about when we kind of hit some issues where when Papermill processes die, like the kernel dies, Papermill just likes to sit there forever waiting for the next message. And there's a few other places where we don't capture, like when it fails fatally, we can't sometimes get the logs or the error messages out so far into the notebook. So there's a few of those things I really like to see if we can't shore up and make it a little more robust to failure modes.
Sweet. So we could definitely use, so there were people that had asked about Python projects that they could contribute to during the sprints. And so if you can make it, so in the nteract/global sprint on GitHub, there's a projects folder, and you can make like so just make a markdown document about kind of the things that you want to work on within Papermill, or even if Papermill itself is like the project area. And that way you can kind of guide people towards it, because there are going to be some people that are going to dial in. There are folks that are going to be in Los Gatos, but then a bunch of people that are kind of spread across the globe that want to work on stuff. So it'd be good to do a little bit of prep, kind of carve out some project areas.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Sweet.
Matt,
I'm a little late to the
just
party with
for,
getting in on these.
just for my, so I know whether I should look into this in this way. Do you know if the same problems apply to NB-convert? Is Papermill inheriting these problems from NB-convert, or is it a Papermill unique thing?
I think it's probably some of it is MB convert, and some of it is paper mill. I think like of the problems I said, one of them is definitely nteract level, and one of them is definitely paper mill level. I think the log capturing on the failure is probably a paper mill side, and then the process monitoring side is probably an nteract side.
You mean NB-convert?
Or MB convert. Whoops, it's nteract. Everything's an nteract thing. Yeah, I'm like dyslexic in the morning without all my coffee in me.
Okay, I'll have to look into that then.
Sweet.
Yeah, and there's also if other people are interested, there's we try and keep like ideas and things we need to do. Like we don't have a change log and that we need to start updating because we've just been kind of ad hocing the releases a bit more and things like that. So we throw issues in the project too, and most of them are pretty small and easy to bite off. So definitely, if you're kind of curious about what's going on there, you can probably find a pretty easy issue and kind of look at it.
Sweet. One thing that I know I've wished for with Papermill is that we'd have some like example job that's running, but like on Circle CI or whatever, where we're like running a notebook, but we're able to see the artifact of that notebook and just kind of have that running as a separate kind of out of band process, which would be nice for testing itself, but also show like, hey, here's a workflow with Papermill. And so it's like,
I think I added Binder to do that last spring.
oh, like you do it inside of the binder. Oh yeah.
I haven't looked at it since I did that, but I believe it's actually running.
I think we need, I guess I just need to promote it then. It sounds like we just have to let people know it exists.
Yeah, I'm looking now, and definitely we sort of hack it by having a notebook. Looks like it hasn't run recently, so I'll have to go make sure it looks a little cleaner. But yeah, that'd be a good thing though. Kind of refresh and see if we can make it a little more prevalent.
Cool.
Is there, for Papermill, is there any sort of like maybe like a screencast demo or like a blog post tutorial or anything if I wanted to sort of see the capabilities of it? I've read through the README and stuff, but never had the chance to try to get something going with it. Do you know if there's anything like that out there?
There will be soon. It's on my to-do list before JupyterCon, but I haven't put anything, or rather the three of us, Kyle and me, all need to do a little work on those. But I could put together something that does that kind of walkthrough for the before the sprint starts for sure.
And there's some basic stuff that goes beyond the README in the docs. So I don't know if you'd looked at those as well, but
yeah, probably some time ago. I should probably check that out again and see.
And if it could be enriched, feel free, if you don't want to go and write the docs, to open issues so that we can know what ways it can be improved.
It definitely. So from what Ben's saying, it sounds like we definitely need kind of the workflow guide stuff, which at least for what we're doing internally at Netflix, now that lots of people are using it, like in the like run it as a job. Because what Papermill's missing, but should not get added to Papermill, is a scheduler, because that's when it becomes powerful, is the fact that you can schedule the notebooks and run them. And like, because that was so fraught with opinions, we didn't bake it in. But the main way to use Papermill is to run the notebook in some automated fashion where you're going to generate a report. So I think we definitely need screencasts that would do that.
We could even do it. I mean, since like the ghetto version of that is just have a cron that's running and building a report for you. We could definitely like set something up that looks like that or is periodically running or some such thing. Kind of show how it would look.
Do we want to reinforce that workflow?
Reinforce the
I mean,
workflow.
I think for like person just trying to figure out and see what's actually running, it's not a bad thing. If we were trying to do a more advanced demo, we probably want to like show like an airflow process where you could make a node an operator that was a paper mill operator.
Nice. That's cool. So I can help edit video. So if people want to do a screencast, I also use ScreenFlow on my machine to do screencasts. And technically, if somebody gives me a script, I'm also willing to actually record it. Because if for anybody there's a barrier of recording, I'm happy to actually do it and then run through it. As much as possible, I like to I like to step away and enable others to do it. So if there is that barrier, just let me know, and I'm happy to.
Do people think it would be a good exercise maybe as the start of the sprint we can walk through it, or do you think it'd be more valuable if we had it in place before the sprint starts so you could get a sense of what it does?
I mean, I brought it up as like a possible sprint, possible sprint activity, maybe something
that
to
sounds
do.
good.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, we
And
might as well just
then-
make that a project then.
And then actually, if one sort of more global activity that could be done would be, Kyle, for you to walk through what it would be like to create, like to go use ScreenFlow to do like showing everybody how to do a screencast, just to give people an idea of what it entails, because then you would be enabling other people. And
I
they
don't know how I would do a ScreenFlow. Maybe it'll let me record using ScreenFlow. I'll figure it out.
You can
could also do it live.
I will edit the video I'm in.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, the sad part, of course, is that it takes practice because you're really just talking while doing things, and then you're moving things on the screen. It's the same as doing a demo.
I was
And then-
thinking of it actually as being more of a live demo of how you would use ScreenFlow to show anything, like to even
Oh,
just
okay.
show up Interact, like something that people would be familiar with.
I feel like there are definitely ScreenFlow tutorials out there that are
But
probably
in
better than
person allows people to ask questions.
Oh, you mean demo it then, not do a screencast in advance to teach ScreenFlow.
Correct.
I was like, man, I don't want to prepare training materials like that.
Yeah, no.
No, I would
have a
I would
session
definitely do
during
that live at the sprints. Yeah, we could do that. That'd be cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's plan on that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I've thought about doing some screencasts for like hydrogen in the past, so that could be useful for me to see how that works.
Sweet.
We could probably even reserve a room that is like ideal for doing screencasts, and people could, like, from the sprint, at least the people who are in Los Gatos, could go take the room for a period of time and like try stuff out. Like actually doing a sort of studio thing where they give feedback. I would love that. That would be fantastic. But yeah.
I think it's a little late to do that. To get the room, yes. The studio, no.
Sorry, I meant a studio as in an artist studio, as in like we would bring the video back and people who would be interested in, like if 5 people
I
or so
see.
were interested in working on screencasts, we would watch each other's and give each other's feedback so that we could have a nicer iteration cycle and still have
Nice.
multiple opportunities to work on something and produce something better by the end of it, which also takes advantage of the fact that we're all in person.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely reserve some other rooms too during it. So, yeah. Cool. That sounds like a plan. And we'll get a Data Explorer screencast while we're at it.
So it looks like that binder stuff.
Elijah's talking, but no mic.
I just noticed that my mic wasn't on, so I just started moving my mouth to because I'm an idiot. I'm glad this is being recorded for posterity. No, I absolutely agree. I think that I think that the whole screencast thing, I think that I mean, it's super useful for people, and also for a lot of folks, it's super intimidating. So having some kind of like priming that pump, I think would be really useful for whatever features are in there. I mean, we could just, you know, and we should do a Twitch live stream or YouTube live stream or something, just for, you know, drum up interest, and also just to see what, if there's anything that pops up. And I've got some experience doing that. I enjoy it, and so would love to be involved in that, and also be involved in it simply as like something to take my mind off of coding, right? As a step away from just coding new functionality.
Awesome. Cool. Does anybody else have anything else? Or does anybody have anything else that's meant to say? Cool. I think we can call it then. Thanks everyone for coming.
See you guys later.
Thanks for
See ya.
organizing.
Cheers. Bye.
See y'all.